Na, good morning, Mr. Chair. We have the following members po ng BAC present po online. We have po Ms. BAC Vice Chairman, Mr. Edwin Mendoza. Kindly acknowledge po, Sir Edwin. BAC Vice Chair po, Sir Edwin po. Okay po. We have also here the BAC members po, BAC members, Ms. Ria Rose Libao. Ma'am Ria.
Hello, good morning po.
Thank you po. And BAC member, Mr. Jeffrey Lazaro. Okay po. And we have also po BAC Chairman po, Mr. Adrian Miranda.
Morning.
We have 4 members of the BAC present po today, sir.
Okay, thank you, Secretariat. Since there are 4 members present for this proceedings, we have a quorum. And I now call this pre-bid conference to order. It is now 8 minutes past 9 a.m. So this is the pre-bid conference for the provision of internet connectivity services in public places, phase 2, in the provinces of Bulacan and Pampanga under Region 3. With bid reference number BAC 2025-001. So, Secretariat, can we proceed?
Good morning po ulit. Before we officially begin, may I invite everyone to join us in a short opening prayer.
Heavenly Father, we come before you today with hearts full of gratitude and reverence, acknowledging your presence among us. We thank you for the privilege of serving through the Department of Information and Communications Technology, and for the strength and wisdom you graciously provide as we work to connect, empower, and uplift our nation through the power of technology and communication. Lord, as we continue our journey in building a more connected, inclusive, and progressive society, we ask for your divine guidance. Grant us clarity of vision, the creativity to innovate, and the integrity to lead with transparency, accountability, and unwavering commitment to the common good. May our efforts, both as individuals and as an agency, contribute to the advancement of our communities and the betterment of our beloved country. We ask you to bless our leaders with wisdom, compassion, and foresight, and to endow our team members with focus, dedication, and the spirit of collaboration. May we work together in unity, fostering a culture of harmony and mutual respect as we strive toward our shared goals, paving the way for a future where technology serves the greater good of all. Lord, we also lift up our families, partners, and stakeholders who walk alongside us in this mission. We pray for their health, safety, and continued support, and we ask that you strengthen us with the courage and determination to carry out this important work with purpose, passion, and grace. With deep faith in your divine guidance, we trust that your wisdom will illuminate our path. Amen.
Okay, Secretariat, can you please proceed with the roll call of other participants present here today, including the prospective bidders, please? Thank you.
Thank you po, Mr. Chair. We would like also to acknowledge the presence of the technical working group present here with us, Mr. Mark Kenneth Junicio, and the BAC Secretariat led by Ms. Jennifer Ilagan, BAC Secretariat members Ms. Raven Rain Villanueva, Ms. Abigail Gallego, Ms. Romel Napomuceno, and Ms. Celine Pocana. Acknowledging also our TOD Chief, Mr. Mario Antonio Ayahay, and the Free Wi-Fi team, Engineer Joshua Sumaway, Shamir A. Cruz, and Domingo Chico Jr. Joining here as well are the Free Wi-Fi interns, Abigail Masil, JC Pile, Angela Neri Buenaventura, Liana Teres Cardena, Neil Harvey Halili, and Regine Edward. And to our prospective leaders, from I1 Resources Incorporated, Mr. Jeffrey Dantes. From PLDT, Mr. J. Balayan, Mr. Robert Valdez, and Mr. Lazaro B. Morales. From ITDS, Mr. Paulo Pamintuan. From HTech Corporation, Mr. Jerome Euclid Sosa. From ONB Teleservice, Mr. Leonie Oriendo. From SMSGT, Ms. Meryl Rojas, Mr. Andrew J. Eustachio, Mr. Roderick Reyes, Ms. Maria Celestina Zurbano. And from WIT, we have Mark Agustin and Mr. Larry Pantoja. From Limitless Tech Solutions Incorporated, Mr. Vince Castillo. And from 8E, Mr. Lawrence Francesco Eufrasio. The DICT BAC Secretariat also extended invitations as observers to COA and TC and ISEP Bulacan. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Secretariat, however, I am seeing some participants here who may know where are you affiliated po? JM, Mikey Federis. Yeah, yung dalawa po. May I know po kung Mikey Federis representing Infinivan. Sino pa?
From Masimut, sir.
Heavenly Father,
Sorry po, mali po yung pangalan kanina.
Okay, on GM. Then from Miss Michelle, from what company? Please.
From
From
PLDT.
PLDT. Okay, sige. Thank you for participating for today's pre-bid conference. So, Secretariat, can you please proceed with the pre-bid agenda and discuss the following details?
Thank you po, Mr. Chair. For today's pre-bid agenda po, we will be discussing po the project details, house rules, presentation of the terms of reference, presentation of the bidding documents, checklist of the technical and financial documents, clarifications, question and answer, reminders and amendments, and another clarification and question and answer. For the project details po, the project title is The Provision of Internet Connectivity Services in Public Places Phase 2 in the provinces of Bulacan and Pampanga under Region 3. The approved budget for the contract is 27,054,051 pesos 0.84 centavos with bid reference number BAC 2025-001. This also to inform you that the invitation to bids was posted to PhilJEBs and constituents places last June 18, 2025. The BAC Secretariat also sent Invitation to bid to at least 3 prospective suppliers and bidders with known qualifications. The invitation to observer was forwarded to Commission on Audit, National Telecommunications Commission, and ISA Bulacan last June 19. And the private conference is happening now, June 26 at 9 o'clock a.m. So, I will be discussing po ulit yung house rules. Sa mga prospective bidders po, kindly take note na lang po. The questions, comments, and suggestions may be raised once the chairperson and the BAC secretariat are done with the presentations. Use the raise hand tool for questions or clarifications or send them via the chat box. Number 2, questions must be brief, concise, specific, and relevant to the bidding at hand. All questions must be addressed to the BAC chairperson. Number 3, observe order during the proceedings. Any act or utterances which would interrupt or disturb the proceedings shall not be tolerated. All participants should accomplish the online attendance link. Number 5, please mute your microphone unless required to speak to avoid unnecessary noise. Number 6, enable your webcam if required to speak and state your name and company you are representing. Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, BAC Secretariat. Now let's proceed with the presentation of the detailed technical specifications. So I encourage all the prospective bidders to please listen carefully for the discussion. And I call on the end user to discuss the presentation, please.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Allow me to represent the end user and discuss the detailed technical specification. May I
Okay.
share my screen?
Please proceed. Thank you.
Hello. May I verify if my screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Proceeding with our detailed technical specification, our project title, Provision of Internet Connectivity Services in Public Places Phase 2 in the province of Bulacan and Pampanga under Region 3. General
End user, can you please zoom in a little
Zoom in,
presentation?
sir.
So,
How about this, sir?
sige pa. Ayan, better.
Okay, sir. Proceeding. Detailed technical specification, our project title, Provision of Internet Connectivity Services in Public Places, Phase 2, in the province of Bulacan and Pampanga under Region 3. Proceeding with our objectives, the DICT Free Wi-Fi for All program is a digital empowerment program that aims to connect Filipinos nationwide through the provision of free Wi-Fi in public places in accordance with Republic Act number 10929, also known as Free Internet Access in Public Places Act. Pursuant to Section 4 of R8 10929, free Wi-Fi for all shall be made available at all government hospital and health center, national and local government offices, public libraries, public parks, plazas, and other open areas, public school, state universities, and college, along with test institution and transport terminal across the country, to bridge the digital divide by equipping public places with high-speed, secure, and reliable internet access through fiber optic cable technology, enabling the provision of internet connectivity services in public places in Region 3. Proceeding po tayo. With the number 5, mode and nature of the procurement. The basis of this tender for the project is competitive bidding. Number 6, approved budget for the contract. The total cost chargeable against the automatic appropriation Free Public Internet Access Program Fund under sub-arrow number 2005-04-048 in payment for the project is 27,054,051 pesos and 84 centavos. Taxes and other fees, all proposals shall be inclusive of all taxes, installation charge, operation and maintenance, incident expense, and other fees and one-time costs. For project duration, The contract duration comprise delivery days and acceptance and service delivery and operation. The delivery and acceptance of service at all location within the contract length must be within 60 calendar days upon receipt of the notice to proceed. Service coverage, meanwhile, shall include SLA and warranty within 12 months. For component lot and breakdown, evaluation of proposals shall be offered cluster lot. The Bid and Awards Committee shall only accept a single lot bid proposal. Lot 1, Province of Bulacan and Pampanga, with total number of location of 48. Link type is fiber. Unit cost is 46,968 and 84 cents. With a grand total cost per lot for Bulacan and Pampanga is 27,054,051 and 84 centavos. For the scope of work, the service provider shall design, supply, deliver, install, commission, and maintain a business commercial grade internet access per identified location with the following minimum characteristics, capacities, and/or capabilities. 9.1.1 Location. The provision shall be dedicated to each identified location. Refer to Annex A for the list of locations, Annex B for the site survey template. 9.1.2 Bandwidth requirements. Fiber optic cable technology shall provide a maximum information rate or MIR of 200 Mbps download and 50 Mbps upload with committed information rate of 100 Mbps download and 10 Mbps upload with maximum of 60 MHz of round-trip latency and 95% uptime and availability with unlimited monthly data allocation per location. 9.1.3 Captive Portal. Provide a landing portal/page upon connecting to the network. Please refer to Annex G for the Captive Portal and signage. The design and context of the landing page or portal can be changed upon the request of DICT Region 3 and shall be applied to all sites within 24 hours of the request. Each hotspot will have a default SSID of DICT Free Wi-Fi for all and may be modified upon the request of DICT Region 3. Landing page must be either of the following: http dict.gov.ph or http dictr3fpiap or other specified by DICT Region 3. 9.1.4 Outdoor access point shall provide, install, commission 2 access point for identified location with the following minimum requirements: an IP address of at least IP rating of at least IP68 protection, Wi-Fi standard 802.11a/b/g/n/nc/a6 or Wi-Fi 6. Wireless security of W.
Assistant Secretary for Infrastructure Management.
Apologies, kindly. Okay, thank you. Proceeding. For certification, must have at least CE and/or FCC and/or IC with a MIMO at 2.4 GHz and at 5 GHz of 2x2 DLUL MU MIMO with a max data rate at 2.4 at least 500 megabytes Mbps and max data rate at 5 GHz with at least 2.4 Gbps with the power method of PoE/PoE or 802.3 AF/80. The antenna type must be built-in omnidirectional with a high gain antenna. Antenna gain at 2.4 GHz is 3 dB. Antenna gain at 5 GHz is 4 dBi. With VLAN capacity of 802.1 Q with a flash memory of 16 megabytes. Can handle concurrent users of 200 plus. Guest traffic isolation must be supported and required. AP isolation is supported and required. Cloud management must be supported, required, and license included. Network-wide must have SNMP and/or API. beam forwarding supported and required, radio-based client limiting supported and required, MTBF of 2,250 hours, safety compliance under NE or European Union 62368 with RF standard of EN 300-328, EN 301-893, EN 300-440, and EMC of the following here. Okay, continuing po. With a backward compatibility with each network equipment, cloud compatibility with each network equipment. At 9.1.4 must also have an indoor access point, shall provide, install, commission one access point per identified location with the following minimum requirement. IP rating of at least IP41 protection with Wi-Fi standard up to Wi-Fi 6, wireless security up to WPA/WP2 with certification of CE and or FCC and or IC. For MIMO, must only have 2x2 MU MIMO. For max data rate 5 at 2.4 GHz, 500 Mbps at 5 GHz must be 2.4 gig per seconds with the power method of PoE/PoE plus or 802.3 AF/80. Antenna type must be built in with antenna gain of at 2.4 is 3 dB and antenna gain at 5 GHz must be 5 dB. VLAN supported 802.1Q. Guest traffic isolation supported. Concurrent client up to 200. Ulit. Mounting must be wall mounted. Guest traffic must be supported and required. API isolation supported and required. Cloud management supported and required, license included. Network-wide SNMP and or API. Backward compatibility with each network equipment. Cloud compatibility with network equipment. For the router, shall provide, install, commission one router per identified location with the following minimum requirements. Total number of ports, 10 RJ45 ports. Total number of 1 ports, 4 ports. Total number of PoE ports, 8 ports. Total PoE output, 130 watts. Power output, PoE/PoE plus or 802.3 AF/80. Number of PPoE server, 128 clients with a RAM of 512 megabytes with a flash memory of 256 megabytes. Data throughput of 1.5 gigahertz and can have a concurrent users of 300. With the following comprehensive management, flexible management option can be local, web, cloud, or mobile app. Public cloud management required and license included. Batch config, zero touch provision supported and required. Dashboard supported and required. Security and policy enforcement. Network access control protocol must have IEEE 802.1x. Application identification is level 7 deep packet, L7 deep packet inspection or DPI. Block application and website supported and required. Granular policy enforcement supported and required. For authentication and portal features, portal authentication must have user password, voucher, one-click, cloud-based, and standalone. For customizable portal page must be supported and required. Integration with third-party portal must be supported with required, for example, Wi-Fi dog, WISPR, HTML, and others. Must have centralized networking management, manage local access point up to 150, manage local router up to 128. Discovery and provision of APs and router must be automatic. For software-defined wide area network, SD1 capable, SD1 performance up to 300 Mbps, SD1 branch up to 64 branches. Flexible architect support must be supported and required, for example, mesh, hub, spoke, or custom. Public IP for SD1, not applicable. Automatic one selections with a primary backup or fast auto switch supported and required. For VPN or virtual private network, IPsec, VPN server, L2TP VPN server, PPT, VPN server client, Open VPN, VPN server clients must be supported. For data communication, box, the service provider is responsible for ensuring the appropriate equipment communication box is provided to accommodate all necessary routing equipment and other related equipment required for the provision of the service. This box should be sufficient size and quality to securely house and protect the equipment from damage or theft, and should be compatible with the specific requirements of the service being provided. Additionally, the service provider must ensure that equipment box is installed in a suitable location that is easily accessible for maintenance and troubleshooting purpose and must follow the minimum requirement. For size and capacity, at least 9 new data cabinet with a minimum dimension. Please refer to Annex C. This is the height 450 millimeters, wide 600 millimeters, length 600 millimeters. Protective paint must be applied where the resistant is required. Number of exhaust fan at least 2 pieces. Circuit breaker with 10 ampere. Power distribution unit is required. Surge protection is required. For uninterruptible power supply, shall provide one uninterruptible power supply capable of having a backup time at least 30 minutes with a minimum specification of the following. Power capacity, at least 1,600 VA/900 watts. Input volts, 220 VAC. Output volt, 220 VAC. UPS technology, line interactive with a display with LCD display. Total number of outlets is 6 and backup time of at least 30 minutes. Okay. Quality of service shall provide the policy or standard in a network optimization must be able to provide prioritization of internet traffic between clients or application. The service provider shall provide bandwidth management policies such as traffic shaping and others. The service provider must ensure and maintain monthly the required bandwidth deliverable together with the submission of MDR, provision of centralized management system access via web, and dedicated dashboard for DICT access with 95% availability. Must the centralized Wi-Fi management system with the following functionality. Must be accessible via web browser, Android, or iOS devices. Must have intuitive usage traffic graph. Must include a dashboard for quick status checking and easier visualization of performance and utilization. Must be scalable up to 1,000 of devices. Must have a capability to map out installed device for efficient management and monitoring. Must have a built-in report creation and analytics that can be configured to produce detailed report. Must be capable of multi-sites management. Data gathering from centralized Wi-Fi management system will be submitted to DICT every first week of succeeding months following activation of the site services. Report must include logs of outage, uptime, and service availability. Must be able to integrate with any online NEMO or network monitoring system using API and SNMP. 9.1.10 Signage. Each access point location shall be provided with a weatherproof sign no less than A1 in size of print, compliant with the communication standard and protocol to be prescribed by the DICT that shall bear contact information, how to connect, and other necessary information to be provided by DICT. This includes installation. Please refer to Annex G for captive portal and signage. The service provider shall provide the necessary hardware, termination, cable, proper bus bar, and other service required to set up the internet connectivity. Provide dedicated electrical cable, circuit breaker, and submeter if necessary and or as requested by beneficiary. 9.3 Security. Shall provide security measures and proactive solutions against attack and malicious activities transiting through network. The service provider shall secure that blocks the fluorification mining, botnet commands, and control attack callbacks as part of compliance to Republic Act number. The cybercrime prevention shall have a child protection system which can block child abuse related content such as but not limited to pornography and proxies, etc. in compliance with Republic Act number 9775 or the Anti-Child Pornography Act of 2009 and RA 7910 or Special Protection of Children Against Abuse, Exploitation, and Discrimination Act. The DICT will provide a list of prohibited websites for blacklisting, and the provider shall ensure regular and continuous monitoring and updating of the blacklist website. Shall provide provision of blacklisting and integration of the list, such as those maintained by BPGI of Germany, Internet Watch Foundation, or www.iwf.philippine.gov. Shall follow the guidance regarding the domain name system or DNS requirement by DICT cybersecurity team to be provided by DICT. Shall prohibited to connect external devices to internet access service prohibited or modem, and open ports are not allowed. 9.4 Service monitoring. Shall provide DICT with view access account that show their near real-time dashboard for quick status check and easier visualization of traffic performance and utilization. Must be capable of at least 12 months of data retention for recovery and backtrack monitoring. Must be capable of tracking and sending event of logs of the network. Coordination for site survey with the DICT is mandatory and must be completed before commencing any survey activities. Prior approval from the DICT is required to ensure compliance with regulation and obtain necessary permission for the survey. During the post-qualification process, the lowest/single calculated bidder is required to ascertain the availability and justification of necessary equipment and related materials essential for successful delivery of the service. This ensures the bidders is capable to fulfill the project requirements and adhere to stipulate notice to proceed timeline. The service provider shall be responsible for coordination and acquisition of additions as necessary and other documents for survey and installation. The DICT shall provide reasonable assistance to the service, initial acquisition of contact person and details, acquisition of verbal agreement, conforme, and or memorandum of agreement for the survey and installation. Provide a personnel to oversee the installation of activities of the service provider. 9.8 Dismantling/Pullout. After the service provider shall conduct, facilitate the dismantling or pull-out of all installed equipment of the DICT Region 3. The location service provider shall perform a relocation without any extra cost to the team. Weekly report to the DICT through the project implementation. This report will include process updates, challenge encounter, and any adjustment made during the implementation. The service provider shall provide the contract implementation covering site survey, inspection, is system integration. The service shall enable interoperability within the existing free Wi-Fi administrative account of active devices, as well as collaboration with other suppliers to ensure the proper documentation, seamless integration, and a single unified monitoring dashboard. For the warranty, the service provider warrants that all network components supplied under the contract are new and unused, and that they incorporated all necessary improvements in design and materials, except when the technical specification required by the procurement entity provide otherwise. Continue lang po tayo. This, for the training, the winner must conduct a capacitive training. Here po, continue lang po tayo with the number 12. Under Service Level Agreement or SLA natin. Saglit lang po. Under here sa ating number 12, SLA, support service. The service must have a dedicated personnel monitoring the network. The service provider shall assign one technical account manager to facilitate issue resolution. The service provider maintain and ensure the operation of the service provided to the DICT. The service provider must address every incident encountered promptly, accordingly, and shall provide an escalation matrix. The service provider must address every incident promptly and accordingly per the following SLA. First level. The service provider must initiate remote support to be provided within the first 30 minutes up to 1 hour when the issue was first reported. The service provider must provide an on-site support if the issue has not been resolved within the first 4 hours period following discovery. Second level, the service provider provide needed repair, service, and part replacement to 8 hours when the issue has been raised. The service provider must provide configuration/reconfiguration services when needed. The service provider must submit an incident management report not more than 30 minutes on the on-site of the issue and not more than 30 minutes after the issue has been resolved. Failure to comply may be subject to rebates. In terms of rebates, unavailability of service, downtime, and or outage shall be considered as chargeable rebate. Rebates exclusion, unavailability of service, downtime, and or outage during scheduled maintenance, emergency maintenance, and other instances provided prior approval of DICT has been made at least 3 calendar days before the activity. Still at rebate inclusion, any downtime caused by scheduled or unscheduled power interruption, force majeure, for example, fire, earthquake, typhoon, flash flood, etc., provided with proper documentations. Continuing, service credit will be provided in a form of service extension based on the cumulative monthly service and or bandwidth availability. Availability will be based on the corresponding equivalent values including in the table below. So, Table 1, Service Credit Equivalents. For a monthly cumulative downtime in minutes, monthly service availability, service credit, percent of the month, day of extension of service. If we have 0 to 2,160 cumulative minutes or a 95% service availability, the DICT will have 0% service credit and 0 day extension. If the site have the following, for example, 2,161 up to 4,320 or 94.99 to 90% monthly service availability, the DICT will have 20% service credit and 6 days extension of service. And here's the table. I encourage everyone to look at this and follow truly. Okay. Continuing, in case of the renewal, for 12.4, we believe we already have an SBV regarding this one. This has already been removed. So proceeding with this, with 12.5.5, in the event that the service provider exceed a cumulative downtime of more than 40% service credit or 12 days of downtime per month per location, it will impact the performance evaluation of the supplier. This is threshold serve as a key performance indicator to ensure the service reliability and uptime compliance. Availability. Service availability of the internet service shall be 95% or above per day. must have a 24/7 technical support assistance and or help desk facility/support services. Outage. The service provider must report every incident, outage, or maintenance to be tracked through email. Once resolved, the service provider must report the reason for the outage and action taken to be resolve the issue within 24 hours. Monthly report. The service provider should submit and verify monthly downtime report and monthly service report as specified in Annex F. The DICT Region 3 FIAP will provide the initial MDR and MSR for the service provider to review. The service provider must verify and justify the report within 3 business days of the receipt. Failure to comply within the specific period shall constitute acceptance of the DICT initial MDR and MSR for that month. Number 13, safety measures. The service provider must install equipment in accordance to engineering standards and follow the safety protocol by DICT and the beneficiary site. If possible, communication box and access point must be mounted at least 6 feet or higher and mounted in secure location or preferred location by the beneficiary or DICT. The service provider must do proper electrical and grounding installation, making sure that no wire are exposed and can cause or pose evils such as, but not recycled plastic container, rusted metal, recycled scrap wood. The service provider must ensure that cables are fixed, properly groomed, and are not hanging loose on the premise. The service provider must do necessary structural cabling, such as but not limited to installation of cable tray, HDPI pipes, plastic moldings, patch panels, and patch cables. For UTP cables, DICT recommend using hooks and loop fasteners, for example, Velcro fasteners, but zip ties are acceptable. The service cable loop must be installed in a pull box for easy access and maintenance and ensure security, safe and efficient cable management, reducing the risk of damage, and improving overall network reliability. LAN cable must be properly labeled. Project must comply with installation standards appropriate to their environment. For indoor installation, only standard indoor LAN cable shall be used. For outdoor installation, outdoor rated LAN cable must be utilized. Meeting the following standard UV resilient cable. All the cable must be compliant with relevant industry standard to ensure safety, durability, and optimal network performance. All equipment must have DICT logo and DICT free Wi-Fi for all stickers. All access points have signage or posters easily visible within the instruction to how to connect within the net. For liquidated damage, all locations shall be accepted and activated at or before the end of service deliverable date. The service provider shall be liable for liquidated damage and equivalent at least 1/10 of 1% of the unperformed portion of the contract for every day of the delay, in refer to the Section 68 of RA 9184 or Government's Procurement Reform Act. For other requirements, a certified ISO 9001-2015 management system or ISO 27001 information security compliance to the National Privacy Commission (NPC) for Data Privacy Act of 2012. Non-expiring certification from NPC should be submitted during the bid opening. 15.3 For service provider under the category of the public telecommunication entities (PTEs) to submit a copy of either of the following: valid certificate of public compliance NSS PCN from the National Telecommunications Commissions as provided of broadband and or internet connectivity for service provider under the category of non-public telecommunication entities or non-PTEs to submit a copy of a valid value-added services registration certificate from NTC. Value-added services are defined under NTC Memorandum Circular Number 0205/2008. The certificate of registration must be valid during the duration of the contract. Valid value-added services VAS registration certificate from the NTC is specifically for 15.4.1 Internet Access Service is required. BVN services, if applicable. Wide area network services, if applicable. Managed hosting services, if applicable. IP multicasting, if applicable. The service provider must present the following during the post-qualification. The service provider must be authorized reseller of the network active devices provided by a certificate from manufacturer. Data privacy officer with a certification of registration issued by National Privacy Commission. The service provider should also have the following qualified personnel: certified network engineer, any recognized engineering network certification. The supplier shall provide employee with a valid network certification such as, but not limited to, CCNA, HCNA, CompTIA network class, or any equivalent industry recognized certification. Shall provide the following list of identified personnel with CCNA, HCNA, CompTIA, or equivalent training certification or approved by the city. Certified true copy of certification of completion of the training, certification, or seminars for the submitted identified list of personnel. Company identification of the personnel. The service provider should have undergone similar project of similar nature. Similar nature shall be contract pertaining to the supply or management of information and communication technology equipment or internet protocol-based interconnectivity of data, audio, and or video. Continuing. For testing and acceptance, DICT reserve the rights to test the service and accept or reject any or all delivered equipment and or not in accordance with the technical specification. The service provider shall conduct testing and acceptance activities. This shall preferably in accordance with the method of procedure, please refer to Annex E, provided by the procurement entity unless otherwise requested, i.e. but not limited to, user acceptance test form, please refer to Annex D. The pretest acceptance checklist documents are consist of screenshots or photos with coordinates of bandwidth testing, speed test of MIR and CRR, location of APs, combox, and cabling. The service provider must submit accomplished consolidated pretest result to the DACT at least 3 working days prior to the scheduled acceptance date in preparation for the acceptance advisory form to be provided by the DACT. The user and acceptance testing shall be conducted by authorized representative from both parties. Test results shall add but not limited to hyper, speed test, or any similar bandwidth measuring tool shall be used as proof that the supplier bandwidth is compliant with the required deliverables and is acceptable requirements for acceptance. Testing and acceptance shall be done for identified location. The service provider shall furnish its service acceptance report together with UAT and as-built sketch signed by a registered professional electronics engineer, PECE, to be approved by DICT, certified that the service is already available and confirmed in accordance with the specification. The service provider shall submit together with the service acceptance report the raw or an edited video recording that shows the following sequence, if applicable. Facade of the building that shows the identified building and location, walkthrough videos of all the installed device equipment in the location, video recording shows GPS, Okay. Continuing, delivery period schedule requirements. The delivery of the service of all location within the contract upon the receipt of NTP service coverage meanwhile and shall include LCA warranty for 12 months. Continue lang po tayo. All location that accepted and activated will be paid in accordance with the payment schedule. All undelivered sites under specific lot that lapse the specific installation and delivery will be subjected to liquidated damage accordance with the provision of the TOR. If not, all locations are delivered and accepted within the given deliverable period, the principle of liquidated damage shall be applied. A completion report must be submitted basis upon okay. Okay. Apologies for that. Let's continue. For the pre-termination of the contract, the contract of the procurement of the project may be pre-terminated by the DICT for any violation of terms on the contract. In the case of pre-termination of the contract, the service provider shall be informed in writing by the DICT 30 days prior to such pre-termination. The DICT shall have the rights to blacklist service provider in case of free termination for valid reasons. This is preferred by Engineer Charisma V. Gutierrez, our ITO1 and focal of Free Wi-Fi for All program, recommended approval by our TOD Chief, Engineer Mario Antonio VII, and approved by our Regional Director, Engineer Antonio Edward E. Padre. For the Annex E, I encourage everybody, our prospective leaders, to check the site location. We have a total of 48 location in between Bulacan and Pampanga. Here's our Annex B. This is our template for the site survey form. I encourage everybody again to read this, and if okay. And here's the Annex C, dimension of communication bank verifications. Here's the Annex C. This is the template for our user acceptance form. I encourage everybody to look it up. This is already posted on the field jobs. Here's the Annex E, the method of procedure. This is the Annex F, summary of monthly service and downtime reports, monthly service reports, monthly downtime reports, and for Annex G, the captive portal and signage templates is given here as well. And Annex F for completion report, here is the template. Mr. Chair, this is the whole technical specification for our project, sir.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Joshua. As mentioned earlier, question and answer will be conducted after the presentation of all documents. So kindly please proceed with the presentation of the bidding documents, please.
Mr. Chair, with your permission po, I would like to acknowledge lang po the BAC member, Mr. De Guzman, and TWG Chairperson, Mr. Stefan Deodin Martinsen po. And with your permission po, proceeding po sa discussion po and presentation po ng bidding documents.
Okay, Secretariat, please proceed.
Good morning po again, Mr. Chair. Allow me to share my screen again for the presentation of the bidding documents for this project. Okay po. Is my ano po? Is loud and clear po ba tayo and my screen is visible? Okay. Proceeding po. Bidding documents for the provision of internet connectivity services in public places, Phase 2, in the province of Bulacan and Pampanga, under Region 3. Approved budget for the contract is 27,054,051 pesos and 84 centavos, with bid reference number BAC 2025-001, June 2025. Continuing po tayo. Let's proceed to the section 1, which is invitation to bid. The Department of Info and Communication Technology Region 3, through the Automated Appropriation Pre-Public Internet Access Program Fund, Sub-Aro number 2025-040483, intended to apply the sum of 27,054,051 pesos and 84 centavos, being the ABC to the payment under the contract for provision of internet connectivity services in public places, Phase 2, in the province of Bulacan and Pampanga under Region 3, with bid reference number BAC 2025-001, bid received in excess of ABC shall be automatically rejected at bid opening. Lot 1, 1L, Province, Bulacan and Pampanga, number of location 25 and 23 with a total number of location of 48, link type fiber, unit cost PHP 46,968 pesos and 84 centavos for both locations, with a grand total of 27,054,051 pesos and 84 centavos. DICT is now inviting bids for the above procurement project. Delivery of service is required within 60 calendar days upon the receipt of notice to proceed. Bidders should have completed within 5 years from the date of submission and receipt of the bid a contract similar to the project. The description of an eligible bidders contained in the bidding documents, particularly in Section 2, Instruction to Bidders. Number 3, bidding will conducted through a open competitive bidding procedures using a non-discretion pass-fail criterion as specified in the 2016 Revised Implementing Rules and Regulation, IIR or Republic Act Number 9184. Bidding is restricted to Filipino citizen / sole proprietor. Sorry. Bidding is restricted to Filipino citizen / sole proprietorship partnership or organization with at least 60% interest or outstanding capital stock belong to the citizen of the Philippines and to the citizen or organizations of a country, the law and regulation which grants similar rights or privilege to Filipino citizens pursuant to RA number 518483. Prospective bidders may obtain further information from the DICT and inspect the bidding document at address given below from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. A complete set of bidding document may be acquired by interest bidder on June 18, 2025 from the given address and websites below. Department of Information and Communication Technology Region 3, 3rd floor, Marison Square Building, Cagayan Valley Road, Santa Rita, Guiguinto, Bulacan. Telephone number 044-792-3743. And upon payment of the applicable fee for the bidding documents pursuant to the latest guidance issued by the GPP in amount of 25,000 pesos, the procurement entity shall allow the bidders to present its proof of payment for the fees by emailing a copy of official receipt at dictr3fpiap@dict.gov.ph or presentation of official receipt in person. The Department of Information and Communication Technology will hold a pre-bid conference on June 26, 2025 at 9 a.m. via video conferencing. All prospective bidders are advised to contact the BAC Secretariat through email at dictr3bacsec@dict.gov.ph or landline number 044-792-3743. in advance or prior to the scheduled procurement activity to get login details for Zoom application meeting. Bid must be duly received by the BAC Secretariat through manual submission at the office address indicated below on or before 9 a.m. of July 11, 2025. Late bid shall not be accepted. Bid proposal may be submitted by authorized supplier representative. All bid must be accompanied by bid security in any acceptable form in the amount stated at ITDS Clause 14. Bid opening shall be on July 11, 2025 at 9:30 a.m. at the Department of Information and Communication Technology Region 3, 3rd floor, Marisol Square, Building, Cagayan Valley Road, Santa Rita, Giginto, Bulacan, and via video conferencing application. For video conferencing application meeting password, kindly email BAC Secretariat at DICT3, bacsec@dict.gov.ph, or contact us at 044-792-3743. Bid will be open in the presence of the bidder's representative who choose to attend the activity. Bidder are encouraged to send at least at most one representative to be physically presented at bid opening. The Department of Information and Communication Technology reserves the rights to reject any or all bids, declare a failure of bidding, and not award the contract at any time prior to contract awards in accordance with Section 35.6 and 41 of 2016 revised IRR of RA number 9184 without thereby inquiring any liabilities to the affected bidder or bidders. For further information, please refer to Carisma B. Gutierrez, BAC Secretariat, Department of Information and Communication Technology Region 3. You may visit the following website, www.dact.gov.ph, Belgium website. It was duly signed by our BAC Chairman, Mr. Edriel C. Miranda. Okay. For Section 2, Instruction to Bidders, we invite all interested and prospective bidders to please read and review this particular section. However, we will highlight some of the sections. Scope of bid, the procurement entity, Department of Information and Communication Technology, wishes to receive bids for the provision of internet connectivity services in public places in the province of Bulacan and Pampanga with identification number BAC 2025-001. The procurement project referred is herein as project is composed of one lot, the details which as described in Section 7 Technical Specification. Funding information, the GOP or Government of the Philippines, through the source of funding as indicated below, automatic appropriation, pre-public internet access fund is amount to 27,054,051 pesos and 84 centavos. Bidding requirements, the bidding for the project shall be governed by all provision of RE 9184 and its 2016 revised IRR, including its generic procurement manuals and associated policies, rules, and regulations as primary source, therefore, while in here clause shall serve as secondary source, therefore. Continuing po, for our eligible bidders, only bid of bidders found to be legally, technically, and financially capable will be evaluated, as well as the bidder shall comply with eligibility criteria under Section 23.4.1 of 2016 IIR of RA number 9184. Continuing. Number 7, subcontract. Subcontract is not allowed. And proceeding with our documents comprising the bid, the eligibility and technical components. The first envelope shall contain the eligibility and technical documents of the bid as specified in the Sections 8 checklist of technical and financial documents. The bidder SLCC, as indicated in the ITB clause 5.1, shall be completed within the last 5 years prior to the deadline for the submission and receipt of the bid. If the eligible requirements are statement, the bid, and all other documents for submission to the BAC are in foreign language other than English, it must be accompanied by a translation in English, which shall be authenticated by appropriate Philippine Foreign Service Establishment, post, or equivalent office having jurisdiction over the foreign bidders' affairs in the Philippines. Similar to the required authentication above, for contract parties to the Apostle Convention, only that translated documents shall be authenticated through apostille pursuant to GPP Resolution Number 13/2019, dated 23 May of 2019. The English translation shall govern interpretation of the bid. For the bid price, please indicate the price schedule shall be entered separately for the following manners. For good offers within the procurement entity country, the price of the good quoted EXC ex-work, the cost of all custom duties and sales and other taxes already paid or payable, the cost of transportation, insurance, and other costs incident to the delivery of goods for their final destination, and the price of other incidental service, if any, listed in. For good offers from abroad, unless otherwise stated in BBS, the price of the goods shall be quoted delivered duty paid with the place of the destination in the Philippines as specified in DBS. In quoting the price, the bidder shall be free to use transportation through carriers registered in any eligible country. Similarly, the bidders may obtain insurance service from any eligible source country. The price of other incidental services, if any, as listed in Section 7 Technical Specification. Let's proceed with our bid security. The bidder shall submit a bidding security declaration or any forms of bid security in amount indicated in the BDS, which shall not be less than the percentage of ABC in accordance with the schedule in the BDS. The bid and bid security shall be valid until 120 days from the bid submission. Any bid not accompanied by acceptable bid security shall be rejected by the procurement entity as non-responsive. Let's proceed with the deadline for the submission of the bid. The bidder shall submit on the specific date and time, and either at their physical address or through online submission as indicated in the paragraph 7 of IB. Opening and preliminary examination of the bid. The BAC shall open the bid in public at the time, on the date, and at the place specified in paragraph 9 of IB. The bidder's representative who are present shall sign a registration evidencing their attendance. In case of video conferencing, webcasting, or other similar technologies are used, participant attendance shall likewise be recorded by BAC Secretariat. In case that the bid cannot be opened as scheduled due to justifiable reasons, the rescheduling requirement under Section 29 of 2016 Revised IRR of RA number 9184 shall prevail. The preliminary examination of bid shall be governed by Section 30 of 2016 Revised IRR of RA number 9184. Ayan po. Again po, we hope that prospective bidders read and review the whole documents po dito sa ating bidding documents, sa invitation to bid. Continuing po. Let's proceed with the section number 3. Is the bid data sheet. Bid data sheet ITB clause 5.3. Hold lang po sandali. For this purpose, contract similar to the project shall be contract pertaining to the supply or management, installation, deployment, or maintenance of information and communication technology equipment or internet protocol-based interconnectivity data, audio, and/or video, completed within 5 years prior to the deadline of the submission and receipt of the bid. ITB Clause 7.1, subcontracting is not allowed. The price of the goods shall be quoted DDP, Department of Information and Communication Technology Region 3, or the applicable in international commercial term, intercom terms for this project. ITB Clause 4.1, the bid security shall be in a forms of bid security declaration or any of the following forms and amount. The amount not less than 554,081 pesos and 0.4 centavos or 2% of the ABC if bid security is in cash, cashier, management check, bank draft, guarantee, or irrevocable letter of credit, or the amount not less than 1,352,702 pesos and 59 centavos, or 5% of ABC if bid security is in surety band. ITB Clause 20.1. List here any license and permit relevant to the project and corresponding law requirements requiring it. Company profile, project implementation timeline, Gantt chart. For PTEs, a valid CPCN from NTC as provider of broadcast and or internet connectivity, or VAS registration from NTC. For non-PTEs, VAS registration from NTC's value-added services as defined under NTC Memorandum Number 0205-2008. This certificate registration must be valid during the duration of the contract. ITB Clause 21.1. List here any additional contract documents relevant to the project may be required by existing law and or procurement entity. Product brochure, office vicinity map, and office vicinity map. Ayun po. Again po, prospective leaders to review all this section po. Let's proceed with the checklist po natin. For technical specification po, everything that is included in our data technical specification are here po. Let's proceed with our checklist. Okay po. Let's proceed here at our section 9, checklist of technical financial documents. Class A po natin, the legal documents. Valid field of registration, platinum member, all pages in accordance with section 8.5.2 of IRR. Valid certification of ISO 9001-2015 Management System or ISO 27001 Information Security Management Compliant Company. And Certificate of Compliance from National Privacy Commission for Data Privacy Act of 2012, non-expiry certification from NTC. For service provider under the category of PTEs to provide a submit a copy of either of the following: valid CPCN from NTC as provider of broadband and or internet connectivity. For service provider under the category of non-PTEs to submit a copy of VAS registration from NTC. The internet access service is required. For technical document, statement of the prospective bidders of all its ongoing and private contract, including the contract awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity of the contract to be bid. Statement of the bidder single largest completed contract, SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid, except under condition provided from section 23.4.1.3 and 23.4.2.4 of the 2016 revised IIR of RA number 9184, within the relevant period as provided in the bidding documents. Please attach a copy of corresponding contract and official receipt presenting to the whole contract amount. Original copy of DICT security in the form of surety bond. Submit also a certification issued by Insurance Commission or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration and conformity within the technical specification, which may include production/delivery schedule, manpower requirements, and or after-sale parts if applicable. Original duly signed omnibus sworn statement OSS, and if applicable, original notarized secretary certification in case of corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or original special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture, giving full power and authority to its official officer to sign the OSS and to do act represent the bidder. Vicinity, location of the bidders, principal place of business, project timeline, Gantt chart. For financial document, the supplier audited financial statement showing, among others, the supplier total and current asset and liabilities in stamp receipt received by BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institution for preceding calendar years, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of submission. The prospective bidders' computation of net financial contracted capacity, NFCC, and a committed line of credit from Universal or Commercial Bank in lieu of its NFCC computation. Class B documents, if applicable, a duly signed joint venture agreement, JVA, in case that the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statement from all prospective joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by provision of JVA in the instance that the bid is successful. Financial component envelope, original and duly signed, accomplished bid form and Annex A, bill of quantities, and original and duly signed and accomplished price schedule. Other documentary requirements under RA 9184 as applicable. For foreign bidders claiming by reasons of their country extension reciprocal rights to the Filipinos, certificate from the relevant government office of their country stating that Filipinos are allowed to participate in the government procurement activities for the same item or products, certificate from the DTI if the bidder claimed preference as a domestic bidder or domestic entity. Yun po yung ating forms, Mr. Chair. My presentation for the bidding docs is completed na po.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Joshua, for representing the end user. Now we proceed with the clarifications, questions, and answers from our participating prospective bidders. So this is how we will do it, no? Since you are 12 companies here, so okay lang ba kung per company ako magtawag muna for the first round, and then if you have additional questions, then you can. Okay, so when I call your company po, just raise your Zoom hand. A representative may be acknowledged po. Okay? So, any question po from AKTI? Or clarifications? Azimuth, if I'm not mistaken.
Clear naman, sir, from side of Azimuth, sir.
Okay. Thank you po. Next po, we have Converge.
No questions po, sir, as of now. Thank you.
Okay. Next, Data Lake. Okay, mukhang wala si Data Lake. Age Tech po, Age Tech Corporation.
Good morning, Sir Adriel.
Good morning, Sir Jerome.
Sir, question lang regarding sa Annex B, site survey form. kailan po ito gagawin? Is it before the bidding, during, before tayo mag-bid, may sabit na to, during the installation,
Sige, sir.
or what?
Can I ask the end user to answer the question, please?
For the site survey form po, this will only be done once it is awarded to the winning bidder po. Kapag meron na po tayong NTP, saka lang po natin isasubmit itong mga site survey na po na to.
So pag halimbawa sir, no, so NTP, nasubmit na siya. So before we do the installation, kailangan ma-survey muna yung 48 sites. Tama po ba
Yes.
bago start?
Yes po, dahil po yung ating site survey will be reviewed by the team and i-review po muna namin kung tama yung mga locations and baka po kasi merong mas suitable na locations na masasuggest yung team and the beneficiary as well. So we have to review first the site survey before the installation. So it needed to be submitted before the installation.
Okay, so that being said, sir, if possible po na gano'n na mangyari, if ever, the 60 days may not be enough to review at the extending it a bit for that. Pero okay na sir ako dun sa sagot ninyo.
Okay. I think point taken po, that will be noted on our end. Just to repeat po, no, you are requesting that the 60-day delivery period be extended or be adjusted to be reviewed by the end user.
Yes sir. Kasi may survey pa yun, 48 sites. You'll not be able to do that naman in maybe in a week's time, since it's going to be 2 provinces, no? And with the coordination with the site coordinators and everything po. So tapos may approval pa ninyo, and so on your end, how fast will the approval be?
Okay.
So yun lang po. Thank you po. So,
Next from Infinivan. Okay, we proceed to the next, I1 Resources.
Good morning, sir. None so far. Thank you.
Okay, thank you from I1. Next from ITBS.
Ano wala nang internet?
Good
From
morning po. None so far.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. Next from LTSI.
no questions.
Okay, no question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is ONB Teleservice. Okay, sir, you're muted pa. Yes, sir, from ONB. Nakamute po ata kayo kanina.
Hello, sir. Good morning po.
Ayan, good morning, sir.
Okay na, sir. Natanong na rin po ni Itstick yung aking katanungan, sir. So, okay na
Okay.
po ako.
Thank you po. Next from PLDT.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Yes, sir. Questions,
Good morning.
sir, regarding dun sa internet connectivity, no? I mentioned kasi dito sa terms of reference na meron siyang MIR, maximum information rate, and hindi siya particularly direct internet access kasi hindi naman siya match yung download and upload speed. So, ang question ko lang dito is yung 95% uptime and available, are you referring for this as SLA?
Can I revert the question to the end user?
The 90% availability is yes po with regards to sa SLA and yung buong service po talaga natin for the whole month and for the whole day have 95% availability.
Yes, kasi majority of the internet na hindi siya DIA or direct internet access has no SLA. Wala siyang particular SLA po. So, can we request to kung pwede pong i-lower ito or something na ano po?
Robert, no, from PLDT.
Yes, sir.
So you're referring to lowering the 95% availability, right?
Yes, sir. O pwedeng i-ease down tong SLA.
Again, sir, just for the record, ano po yung
SLA. But for this one kasi, nakalagay siya as internet connectivity siya na parang DSL type, ADSL to be specific, which is doesn't have any SLA. So medyo in contradict lang po siya doon sa internet requirement na meron pong SLA.
Okay. Point taken, Mr. Valdez from PLDT. We'll refer this to our end user for validation and review. Okay. Thank you. Any comment from the end user ba? Or we'll refer it to... sige. We proceed to the next company. Okay na po ba tayo, PLDT? Or may additional
Mr.
questions?
Chair.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Sige. Yeah, good morning,
Yes,
Mr.
sir,
Chair.
Jacob.
Good morning po. I'd just like to clarify po
Morning.
yung announcement kanina na during the ocular inspection, it will be conducted upon notice to proceed, no? We found out kasi po, yung ibang mga coordinates po na binigay po dito sa terms of reference natin, may mga sites po na inaccurate. Some are landing in a body of water, tapos field walang structure po. Probably we can take a look at that po. That's one. Second po, yung na-mention po kanina, baka mag-nominate po tayo ng ibang sites, no, na mas makakapag-benefit, no? Does that mean po na yung list po natin somehow hindi pa po siya final? There's a probability po na mabago po siya. Am I correct to assume that po, Mr. Chair? Thank you.
Okay. Sige. Sige, end user, you answer first.
With regards to the coordinates, these sites po are already been coordinated, and they in the past last year actually, they already have a free Wi-Fi. So with regards dun sa coordination with the sites, it's already been done. We already have signed conformists with the site beneficiaries as well. So yung coordination po between the DECT and the beneficiary is almost actually done na. Kasi nabigyan na sila last time. With the coordinates, we will look into it agad-agad. And ano yung isang question? Sorry.
Yung list po, Mr. Chair.
Yung list
may
with regards dun
possibility.
sa relocation.
Apa.
With regards dun sa relocation, sir, if ever lang naman na actually finalized na siya in this kasi na-coordinates na to. If ever lang, for example, the hospital will be relocated to the other sites or kalapit na barangay or kalapit na meron silang bagong building. Kasi ito may mga sites dito na luma na and they already have ongoing reconstruction of new building. We are requiring the service provider na kapag lipat ng sites na yun, isabay na ililipat din yung free wifi natin doon sa sites na yun, given the walang additional cost from the DACT.
Noted, Mr. Chair. Thank you po.
Okay, so I think the question is answered clearly. Again, we will be looking into the accuracy of the coordinates, okay? And user kindly take note of that. And then for the second concern, yes, the list is final since this the sites were already given free Wi-Fi last year. Okay? So thank you, PLDT. Next, SMSGT.
Sir, our concerns, we'll just email it.
Okay. Sige, sir. Noted on that. Next, WIT. WIT po. Do you have any concerns or questions? Okay, none so far. So, yun lang po yung nasa list ko. Meron pa po ba akong hindi natawag na company na nandito? Apologies, baka na-overlook ko. Meron po ba akong hindi natawag na company? Okay. I think natawag naman, no? So sige, sa mga may additional questions po, you may raise it now. Please raise your hand to be acknowledged. Okay, hearing none, let's proceed to the next part of the agenda. Secretariat, can you please proceed with the presentation?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I will be discussing po the reminders and the amendments po. So for this one, we have the envelope system and the proper sealing markings. Feeds must be duly received by the BAC Secretariat through manual submission at the office address indicated below on or before. Late bids shall not be accepted. Bid envelope must be addressed to Mr. Edriel C. Miranda, BAC Chairperson, DICT Region 3, 3rd floor, Marison Square Building, Cagayan Valley Road, Santa Rita, Giginto, Bulacan. Bidders shall provide an original, duplicate, and triplicate copies of the original bid submitted. Each bidder shall submit its bid proposal to a one mother envelope that shall contain 3 envelopes containing the original, duplicate copy number 1, and triplicate copy number 2 copies. Each envelope shall contain of its technical component and financial component documents, also enclosed in an envelope. All envelope must be labeled as technical or financial component, original, duplicate copy 1, and triplicate copy 2. The envelopes must be properly and separately marked, signed, and sealed in accordance with the updated guidelines in the audit of procurement. So, to our prospective bidders, here's an illustration of the required sealing of bid envelope. As you can see po, meron tayong main envelope. Iyan po yung pinaka-mother envelope natin. And inside po ng mother envelope natin ay merong sub-envelopes which contains the original bid, the duplicate copy, copy 1, and the triplicate copy, copy number 2. Inside of those sub-envelopes contains additional 2 envelopes po containing the original technical component and the original financial component. Sa copy number 1 po, dapat po may laman din po siyang copy number 1 ng technical component and financial component, as well po sa copy number 2. And ito po yung required marking ng bid envelope po. So you can see, ito po yung magiging mother envelope namin. Naka-sealed po yan and you have your signature here po. And then, ito po yung label, sample format po ng label ng mother envelope. Naka-address po siya sa BAC Chairperson kay Mr. Edriel C. Miranda with address 3rd floor, Marison Square Building, Cagayan Valley Road, Santa Rita, Giginto, Bulacan. Technical and financial component. Yung procurement title po, which you can see po doon sa DTS and siya sa bidding documents. With bid reference number for this procurement po is BAC 2024-2025-001. And your bidder's name po, kung ano po yung pangalan ng company nyo, and yung address po. Do not open before, kung anong oras po yung bid opening and yung date po. And here naman po, ito po yung outer envelope kung saan nakalagay yung sub-envelope po natin. Ang laman po niyan is original and technical financial component, and procurement title, bid reference number, bidder's name, address, and do not open before. For other copies, indicate copy 1 or 2. So, di ba po sa mother envelope po natin, meron po siyang sub-envelope na original copy 1 and copy. So, ito rin po yung nakalagay sa technical component, address, pangalan, and address po ng DICT Region 3, original technical component, procurement title, bid reference number, bidder's name, address, and do not open before po ng bid open. Same as financial component po, ganun din po yung nakalagay. And I would like to also remind our bidders po na late bids will not be accepted, and ensure all pages are signed and initialed by your authorized representative and marked as certified true copies. And inform na po namin na if any document po na missing po doon sa submitted bid nyo, will result po sa non-compliant nyo po. So make sure po na to follow po yung checklist po. So, Mr. Chair, open na po for clarifications and question and answer regarding po sa same.
Okay, thank you, Secretariat. So, well, any more questions po or mga pahabol po na tanong if meron pa from our bidders? Okay, so kung wala na po, I would like to remind all prospective bidders that you may submit additional queries or requests for clarification through an official letter addressed to the committee and be sent via the BAC Secretariat's official email address on or before June 30, 2025. That will be on Monday. Okay? Secretariat, can you please chat down your email address here? No, it's dictr3backsec@dict.gov.ph. Again, I would like to remind all bidders yung 25. And the minutes of the meeting will be available not later than 5 days from today upon written request of the prospective bidder. So if you want a copy of our minutes of the meeting, kindly again email the secretariat to request a copy. Any statements made at the pre-bid conference shall not modify the terms of bidding documents unless such is thereto and issued as a supplemental bid bulletin. So lahat po ng discussion po natin dito ay hindi pa final. As mentioned earlier, the points raised by you will be addressed or will be reviewed by the back and the end user, and any changes, amendments to the technical details specification in the bidding documents will be issued through a supplemental bid bulletin. Okay? So we encourage everyone to regularly monitor the PhilJEP's website for any supplemental bid bulletins that may be issued. Please be reminded that it is the responsibility of all prospective bidders to stay informed and ensure they have secured all supplemental bid bulletins related to this procurement. Okay po? So, yes, Secretariat, you have something to present?
Yes po, Mr. Chair. I-inform ko lang po yung prospective bidders natin na yung timeline of activities po. Mababago po yung ating bid opening po. Yung bid opening po natin, yung deadline of submission of bids will be on July 15, 2025 at 9 o'clock a.m. And the opening of bids will be the same day at 9:30 a.m. po. Mag-i-issue na lang po kami dito ng supplemental bid bulletin po and will be posted po sa PhilJEPs. Additionally po sa mga prospective bidders po natin na hindi pa po nagsasign po ng online attendance, nasa meeting chat po yung link. So, pa-comply na lang po. Thank you po, Mr.
Okay, thank you, Secretariat. So again, no, our original schedule is July 11, supposedly. However, due to some changes in the schedule of the Bids and Awards Committee, the new timeline of our activities is July 15, 2025 for the deadline of submission, 9 a.m. And the opening of bids will proceed accordingly at 9:30 a.m. on July 15, 2025. Okay. Secretariats, what's next in the presentation? Sorry. Okay, so sa bidding documents, on the submission day, kindly look for the back secretariat and pay directly at the cashier. Okay. So last call, any more questions or comments, clarifications? Okay, hearing none, once again, thank you to all our prospective bidders in participating in this pre-bid conference, and we hope to receive your bids, or we hope for you to participate in our procurement. Okay, that will be scheduled on July 15, 2025. Okay, so with that, I call this meeting adjourned. Thank you.